Rudy Giuliani was chatting with Steve Bannon and said something that is not surprising, but does highlight the change in American politics as we know it that we're watching right now. So in this, he says, if X, Y, and Z happens, the Democrats are preparing to cheat in the midterms. And we've heard this from so many people that, the Democrats are going to steal the midterms if they win, or, in my particular race, if I lose, it's going to be because the Democrats stole it from me. Or even some of these bozos were saying, hey, if my Republican primary gets stolen from me, it's the Republican Party stealing it. Okay, whatever. It's stolen if you lose is the new way, based on themselves, these people trying to, model themselves after Donald Trump. Trump said that statement, now they all do it. If I lose in my race, it's because it was stolen. And if the Democrats win in the House or if they win in the Senate, it's because they stole it. So here's this moment, and then I want to look at a truly shocking and not shocking. Shocking from the point of view of reason, not shocking because I think we knew this existed in our country already, but it's a shocking poll about the reality of some people's views in our country. Take a look.
Make sure that the state Democratic Party is not making use of, what's the biggest one? The mail-in voting and no ability of Republicans to observe those ballots. If that's the case, if there's going to be no ability to observe, they're getting ready to cheat, because that's the way they did it before.
Okay. They're getting ready to cheat. And no, that's not what they did before. But then here is this poll that recently came out from a study that was done from the University of Chicago. And this is scary stuff. So reading from CBS, more than 18 months after the rioting at the U.S. Capitol by a pro-Trump mob, an estimated 13 million U.S. adults, or 5% of the adult population, which would be much more of the Republican population, agree that force would be justified to restore former President Donald Trump to the White House, and an estimated 15 million Americans believe force would be justified to prevent Trump from being prosecuted should he be indicted for mishandling classified documents. Guys, 15 million Americans think it's justified to use force to prevent Trump from being prosecuted, and 13 million believe force would be justified to restore Trump as president. And by force, we're talking about violence. People see out of their eyes, a lot of these voters, what Rudy Giuliani said, which is they're preparing to steal the midterms. And they also hold the belief in their heart and in their mind that it's justified to use violence to put Trump back in power and to prevent the stealing of the election, which of course isn't going to happen. And this is why, if you're someone in right-wing media, if you're someone who's conservative and you have some sort of public voice, and you know in your heart of hearts, the election wasn't stolen, but you know that your audience wants to hear that, which we understand is a lot of these people, and you're riling them up to believe that all these elections are being stolen, that Trump's the rightful president and all that type of stuff, you're setting up a situation where we get closer and closer to inevitable violence. That is where we are headed towards, guys, because of the lies that are being told, to the point where 15 million Americans believe force will be justified to prevent Trump from being indicted. There's a legal, lawful, correct, rightful investigation going on into Trump. All of the correct processes have been gone through to do this in a correct way. And they still believe that if he gets indicted, they should use violence to prevent him from being held accountable in that way. And 13 million people, 5% of the entire population, you put a group of 20 people together and one of them will believe that they should use violence to put Trump back in power, or it would be justified to do so. That is incredible. That is scary. That is dangerous. And people like Rudy Giuliani, Steve Bannon, and all these other individuals are perpetuating the lies that are going to get someone hurt, that already have on January 6th, but could in a much larger fashion do so because of the cult that is developed around Donald Trump. It is so, so scary.